Time for your daily dose of automotive news. Grab your coffee, tea, or whatever snack gets you going, and let's dive into what's driving the world today.
For years, Toyota was the safe bet. If you wanted a truck that felt carved out of granite, you picked a Toyota and didn't think twice. Today, something feels off. At some dealerships, you can walk past rows of nearly new Tacomas, Tundras, Sequoias, even the latest Land Cruiser, already traded in with barely a weekend's worth of miles. That sight used to be unthinkable. Now it's a pattern. The question that matters isn't, are Toyotas bad now? The question is bigger. What changed so fast that lifelong loyalists are willing to walk away? By the end of this video, you'll see the answer isn't one thing. It's a stack of decisions, engineering, pricing, incentives, quality control that added up to a single painful feeling: loss of trust. Picture the lot. Fresh concrete. Flags moving just enough to make the paint sparkle. Then your eye catches a TRD Pro in that new earth tone hero color. Mud bath. It's the exact truck that had wait lists 6 months ago. You step closer and the odometer reads 2 digits, not 2,000. 2 digits. Somebody bought it, drove it around the block and brought it back. This isn't a one-off story. Walk a few more rows and the pattern repeats. Lightly used badges, sticker residue, where a markup tag used to hang. Some stores are still trying the old playbook, $5,000 over MSRP on halo trims. Others move the markup from the front of the deal to the back. Finance it used, push the rate higher, take a bigger kick from the lender. Either way, buyers feel the pressure. And pressure only works when desire is strong. When the truck underwhelms, the math flips. The strangest part is the mood. In 2021, buyers accepted markups because supply was broken and demand was rabid. Today, the supply is back, but the excitement isn't. You can feel it in the showroom. Fewer phones ringing, more salespeople staring at their screens, more halo trucks parked at the front like museum pieces. If hype can move metal, apathy can stop it cold. But the lot is only the surface. Underneath it is a story about expectations colliding with a new kind of Toyota. For decades, Toyota didn't ask for trust. They earned it. The recipe was simple enough to fit on a glove box sticker. Naturally aspirated engines, conservative tuning, sturdy transmissions, hardware you could service with ordinary tools, and interiors that age slowly. You didn't buy a Toyota to impress your neighbor. You bought one because you planned to keep it until your kid needed a first car. The new strategy is different. Turbo 4s show up where V6s used to live. Twin-turbo V6s with hybrid systems sit where big, lazy V8s used to hum. On paper, the spec sheet sings. More torque, better fuel economy, quicker sprints. On the road, it's complicated. There's more to go wrong. There's more software between your right foot and the tires. And if you're the kind of buyer who learned to love Toyota because nothing surprised you, the new surprises don't feel like progress. They feel like risk. Owners trade stories online. Some talk about drivability, lag off the line, odd handoffs between electric and gas, batteries that don't like extreme cold. Others fixate on noise and vibration, the kind that tells you a system is working hard just to feel normal. Most of all, people talk about peace of mind, not a metric, a feeling. The feeling that if you drive into the desert with a jerry can and a toolbox, you'll drive back out again. That feeling is fragile. Once it's gone, it's hard to sell with brochures. And nowhere is that loss of confidence louder than in the full-size lineup. The Tundra used to be the contrarian's choice. Maybe the domestics had flashier cabins, but the Tundra had that unburstable V8, heavy-duty simplicity, and the kind of resale that made accountants smile. The new generation brought power and efficiency, and a learning curve owners didn't ask for. Hybrid systems promise torque and towing, but the ownership experience feels less predictable. When a truck costs luxury money, less predictable is a hard sell. Sequoia follows the same path. The badge says family road trip and national parks. The sticker says premium. Yet shoppers walk around them, poke the glossy plastics, tap the screens and feel unconvinced. Even the loud colors, solar octane, the ones meant to shout confidence, can't drown out the quiet question in the back of the buyer's mind. Will this age like a Toyota or like a gadget? When premium trims like TRD Pro sit still, you're not just fighting price, you're fighting doubt. There's a human element here too. When an early owner trades a truck after 3 months, he doesn't just swap VINs. He tells his friends. He posts the why on a forum. He becomes a cautionary tale at backyard barbecues. Reputation is word of mouth with a volume knob. Right now, that knob is turning the wrong way. Some fans say the fix is obvious. Don't kill the new stuff. Just bring the old choices back. Imagine this. The brochure lists 2 paths. Path 1 is the modern vision, turbos, Hybrid assist, small displacement, doing big work with software and clever plumbing. Path 2 is the legacy route, an NA V6 for midsize, a healthy understressed V8 for full size. Both are engineered like Toyotas, overbuilt, undertuned, obsessed with durability. Pick your flavor and go. That world never arrived. Regulators asked for cleaner numbers, accountants asked for fewer variants, and planners asked for simpler manufacturing. The result was a single bet placed on complex powertrains, offered across the board. If you love the new feel, you're happy. If you don't, there's no escape hatch. Car people hate being told there's no option B. Other brands read the room. When Ram leaned back into big displacement after flirting with smaller, boosted alternatives, fans cheered. Whether you'd buy one or not, the message landed, "We hear you." Toyota, by contrast, sounds like you'll get used to it. Some will, many won't. Engines get the headlines, but build quality writes the footnotes. Buyers remember years later. Put a new Land Cruiser next to a new Tacoma, and then try to forget what you see. Door shut sounds, trim flushness, the way the steering wheel leather feels after a sweaty summer. These are small things, until they all line up on the same side of the scale. People aren't measuring with calipers in the driveway. They're measuring with the hairs on the back of their necks. Does it feel like the brand they grew up trusting? Or does it feel like the accountants found one too many corners to shave? Where a vehicle is built is only part of the story, but perception matters. When a model that's still assembled in Japan feels vault solid, and its cousin doesn't, shoppers connect dots. Sometimes they connect the wrong dots. Sometimes they connect uncomfortable truths. Either way, perception spreads faster than a service bulletin. If quality concerns are the whisper, inventory is the shout you can hear from the highway. Walk the back of the lot where the overflow sits, and you can count the story truck by truck. The units are there, the visits are not. Incentives flash on websites. APR specials promise relief. But the strangest distortion in this market is how lightly used became a trap. New trucks qualify for subsidized rates and factory money. Used ones don't. So a truck with 300 miles can actually cost more per month than a new one. That math makes sense to lenders and dealers. It makes zero sense to normal humans. That's how you end up with 2 rows of virtually identical trucks, where the older title is the worst deal. The shopper who started the day excited ends the day exhausted. Some walk out and swear off the brand entirely, not because the product is hopeless, but because the process felt like homework with a penalty. But inventory and finance quirks are symptoms. The diagnosis goes deeper into how Toyota defines longevity in 2025. Talk to an old-school Toyota owner about the best truck the brand ever built, and you'll hear a theme. It was simple, understressed, and indifferent to punishment. The 200 series Land Cruiser didn't earn a cult because it dragged on a dyno. It earned it because it shrugged at time. The older Tacoma didn't get famous because it was fast. It got famous because it was faithful. Modern vehicles across brands are rolling computers. Toyota isn't unique there, but Toyota used to be unique in how conservatively they modernized. They were the last to rush into a fad and the first to test a new idea for 200,000 miles before giving it to you. Today, release cycles feel faster, tolerances feel tighter, and the tolerance for squeaks, rattles, and gremlins feels, let's say, more generous than loyalists remember. When a truck feels like a subscription instead of a companion, owners plan their exit. So why would a brand built on prudence decide to run this hard toward complexity? Follow the money. Automakers live in spreadsheets before they live on roads. R&D sunk into a turbo-hybrid architecture needs to be amortized across models and years. Tooling for one powertrain is cheaper than 3. Regulators reward lab numbers, not legends. And yes, large conservative companies carry large conservative debts. The cost of money nudges the cost of decisions. None of this is villainy. It's gravity. But when gravity runs the product plan, the brand voice changes. The sentence "will give you the option you're asking for" turns into "the option you're asking for doesn't clear this gate." Short-term math wins. Long-term loyalty loses. Most customers never see the gate. They just feel like the thing they loved got optimized into something they tolerate. Where does that leave the people who actually drive these trucks? Split loudly. There are still happy owners. Plenty. Some love the surge of the hybrid V6. Some adore the quieted cruise. Some will tell you their truck tows better than the old one and uses less fuel doing it. They're not wrong. Modern engineering is powerful. For certain use cases, the new trucks are empirically better, but the skeptical voices are louder because they're surprised. They expected Toyota to be immune to trends, not married to them. They expected to forgive a boring interior because the bone structure was bulletproof. Now they see flashy screens and hear tiny rattles, and they wonder if the bargain flipped, if they're paying more and getting less of what they valued. Online, those doubts don't stay local. They snowball. A squeak in Minnesota becomes a meme in Arizona by dinner. Could Toyota pivot? Here's where whispers turn into headlines. Eventually. So here's where we'll wrap up this first part. Right now, Toyota's fan base is more divided than ever. Some owners are standing by the brand, embracing the new hybrid tech, and saying it's just the future arriving early. Others feel let down, saying Toyota traded durability and simplicity for complexity and profit. But what about you? Are you still on Toyota's side, willing to adapt to this new era? Or do you feel disappointed, wishing they'd just bring back the engines and the build quality that made them legendary? Let me know in the comments where you stand. I really want to hear which camp you fall into. And if you're finding this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more than you know, and it tells me to keep making deep dives like this. Because in part 2, we're going even further into the rumors and insider talk about what Toyota might be planning next. Could heritage engines actually return? Are mid-cycle fixes already being tested? Or has Toyota gone too far down this path to turn back? Stick around, part 2 is coming up, and you don't want to miss it.